Randall Hughes with GodGlorified.com, and we're reading for our May 22nd Bible reading, and we're going to begin in the Reese Chronological Bible with 1 Chronicles chapter 22, and this is in the year approximately 985 BC. Then David said, "This is the house of the Lord God, Yahweh God, and this is the altar of the burnt offering for Israel." And David commanded to gather together the strangers that were in the land of Israel, and he set masons to hew wrought stones to build the house of God. And David prepared iron in abundance for the nails for the doors of the gates, and for the jointings, and brass in abundance without weight. Also cedar trees in abundance, for the Zidonians and they of Tyre brought much cedar wood to David. And David said, "Solomon my son is young and tender, and the house that is to be built for Yahweh must be exceeding magnifical, of fame and of glory throughout all countries. I will therefore now make preparation for it." So David prepared abundantly before his death. Then he called Solomon his son and charged him to build an house for Yahweh God of Israel. And David said to Solomon, "My son, as for me, it was in my mind to build an house unto the name of Yahweh my God. But the word of Yahweh came to me, saying, Thou hast shed blood abundantly, and hast made great wars. Thou shalt not build an house unto my name, because thou hast shed much blood upon the earth in my sight. Behold, a son shall be born to thee, who shall be a man of rest. And I will give him rest from all his enemies round about. For his name shall be Solomon, and I will give peace and quietness unto Israel in his days. He shall build an house for my name, and he shall be my son, and I will be his father, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom over Israel forever. Now, my son, Yahweh be with thee, and prosper thou, and build the house of Yahweh thy God, as he has said of thee. Only Yahweh give thee wisdom and understanding, and give thee charge concerning Israel, that thou mayest keep the law of Yahweh thy God. Then shalt thou prosper if thou takest heed to fulfill the statutes and judgments which Yahweh charged Moses with concerning Israel. Be strong and of good courage. Dread not, nor be dismayed. Now behold, in my trouble I have prepared for the house of Yahweh 100,000 talents of gold, and 1,000 talents of silver, and of brass and iron without weight, for it is in abundance. Timber also and stones have I prepared, and thou mayest add thereto. Moreover, there are workmen with thee in abundance, hewers and workers of stone and timber, and all manner of cunning men for every manner of work. Of the gold, the silver, and the brass, and the iron, there is no number. Arise therefore and be doing, and Yahweh be with thee. David also commanded all the princes of Israel to help Solomon his son, saying, Is not Yahweh your God with you? And hath he not given you rest on every side? For he hath given the inhabitants of the land into thine hand. And the land is subdued before Yahweh and before his people. Now set your heart and your soul to seek Yahweh your God. Arise therefore, and build ye the sanctuary of Yahweh God. Bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord, of Yahweh, and the holy vessels of God into the house that is to be built to the name of Yahweh. First Chronicles chapter 23, starting at verse 2. And he gathered together all the princes of Israel with the princes and the Levites. Now the Levites were numbered from the age of 30 years and upward, and their number by their polls, man by man, was 38,000, of which 24,000 were to set forward the work of the house of Yahweh, and 6,000 were officers and judges. Moreover, 4,000 were porters, and 4,000 praised Yahweh with the instruments which I made, said David, to praise therewith. And David divided them into courses among the sons of the Levite, namely Gershon, Korath, and Merari. And later in 23, beginning at verse 24, 1 Chronicles 23, these were the sons of the Levite after the house of their fathers, even the chief of the fathers, as they were counted by number of names by their polls, that did the work for the service of the house of Yahweh from the age of 20 years and upward. For David said, Yahweh God of Israel hath given rest unto his people, that they may dwell in Jerusalem forever. And also unto the Levites, they shall no more carry the tabernacle, nor any vessel of it, for the service thereof. For by the last words of David, the Levites were numbered from 20 years old and above, because their office was to wait on the sons of Aaron for the service of the house of Yahweh in the courts, and in the chambers, and in the purifying of all holy things, and the work of the service of the house of God, both for the showbread, and for the fine flour for meat offerings, and for the unleavened cakes, and for that which is baked in the pan, and for that which is fried, and for all manner of measure and size, and to stand every morning to thank and praise Yahweh, and likewise at even, and to offer all burnt sacrifices unto Yahweh in the Sabbaths, and the new moons, and on the set feast, by number according to the order commanded unto them continually before Yahweh, and that they should keep the charge of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the charge of the holy place, and the charge of the sons of Aaron their brethren in the service of the house of Yahweh. And now to 1 Chronicles chapter 24, beginning at verse 20 and continuing through 31. And the rest of the sons of Levi were these: of the sons of Amram, Shubael; of the sons of Shubael, Jedediah; concerning Rehabiah, of the sons of Rehabiah, the first was Ishiah; of the Izharites, Shelomoth; of the sons of Shelomoth, Jahath; and the sons of Hebron, Jeriah the first, Amariah the second, Jehaziel the third, Jekameam the fourth; of the sons of Uziel, Mitchah; of the sons of Mitchah, Shamir; the brother of Mitchah was Ishiah; of the sons of Ishiah, Zechariah. The sons of Merari were Mahli and Mushi; the sons of Jehaziah, Beno; the sons of Merari by Jaaziah, Beno, and Shoham, and Zachar, and Ibri. Of Mahli came Eleazar, who had no sons. Concerning Kish, the son of Kish was Jeremiel. The sons also of Mushi, Mahli, and Eder, and Jeremoth. These were the sons of the Levites after the name of their fathers. These likewise cast lots over against the brethren, the sons of Aaron, in the presence of David the king, and Zadok and Ahimelech, and the chief of the fathers of the priests and the Levites, even the principal fathers, over against their younger brethren. And now, Reese has adjusted the order here. We now return to the beginning of 1 Chronicles chapter 24, verse 1. Now these are the divisions of the sons of Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. But Nadab and Abihu died before their father, and had no children. Therefore Eleazar and Ithamar executed the priest office. And David distributed them both Zadok of the sons of Eleazar, and Ahimelech of the sons of Ithamar, according to their offices in their service. And there were more chief men found of the sons of Eleazar than of the sons of Ithamar, and thus were they divided. Among the sons of Eleazar there were 16 chief men of the house of their fathers, and 8 among the sons of Ithamar, according to the house of their fathers. Thus were they divided by lot, one sort with another, for the governors of the sanctuary and the governors of the house of God were of the sons of Eleazar and of the sons of Ithamar. And Shemaiah, the son of Nethanel, the scribe, one of the Levites, wrote them before the king and the princes, and Zadok the priest, and Ahimelech, the son of Abiathar, and before the chief of the fathers of the priests and Levites, one principal household being taken for Eleazar, and one taken for Ithamar. Now the first lot came forth to Jehoiarib, the second to Jedaiah, the third to Harim, the fourth to Seorim, the fifth to Malchijah, the sixth to Mijamim, the seventh to Hakos, the eighth to Abijah, the ninth to Jeshua, the 10th to Shechaniah, the 11th to Eliashib, and the 12th to Jachim, the 13th to Hubah, the 14th to Jeshebiah, the 15th to Bilgah, the 16th to Immer, the 17th to Hazir, the 18th to Aphsaz, the 19th to Pethahiah, the 20th to Jehezekiel, the 21st to Jachin, the 22nd to Gamul, and the 23rd to Deliah, the 24th to Maaziah. These were the offerings of them in their services to come into the house of Yahweh, according to their manner, under Aaron their father, as Yahweh God of Israel had commanded him. And that's going to conclude our reading for today, for May the 22nd. God bless you.